Ready? Cool. Perfect. Hey guys, good morning. How are you? Good. Okay, so we're the team number 2, and our idea's name is KickStockUp. We're gonna show you what this is. So can we go next, please? So how many times you've been walking on the street and drinking coffee and maybe just smoking, maybe thinking some other stuff, and then you have this idea, and then you say, oh my God, this is the best idea ever, and somebody needs to implement this thing, and then you say, yeah, I know how to make it working, but what's the first problem that happens to us or comes to our minds? It's cash. How the heck we're gonna fund this idea that is amazing? Nobody's gonna believe on us, nobody's gonna give me this loan that we need, right? Then you say, okay, let's go to the banks. And then you start doing this process to try to get some cash from them. And what's the process? The process is gonna be this long process that you need to bring them like a lot of papers, a lot of documentations. It's gonna be so long, and at the end of the day, they can say, and they are going to say, you know, I'm so sorry, we don't know nothing about you, we don't have historical data of you, so we cannot give you the money, right? So on the other hand, we have a lot of people in here that they want to invest. They have this idea of, yeah, I want to put my money somewhere so I can get some return on investment or extra cash, right? But the problem is that these guys are not millionaires. These guys are like you or like me, right? They just have like, let's say, $100 extra or $1,000 extra, but they don't have $1 million extra to spare, right? So they want to invest in new ideas, and sometimes the investors, they are risky. So what happens? They want to know what are the ideas that are on the market right now so that they can invest on. But they want to do this with a lot of flexibility. So they want to invest from the coffee shop, they want to invest from the restaurants, they want to invest even from the bedroom while they are watching TV or, I don't know, doing some other stuff, right? So investors are also afraid of frauds and scams because this is a trend nowadays, right? So this is the real panorama now. What we're gonna bring now, please.
So what if we had an app that could connect brilliant ideas to investors, but not only investors that has thousands of dollars, but investors like me that would like to invest just $100 in an idea. And what if I could use this app to invest from Brazil an idea here in Silicon Valley, or why not in Africa, for example? And even better, and if this investment could be done in an easy and simple way and could be trusted to avoid scams or frauds. So that's why we developed the KickStockUp platform, and now Linda will explain how we're going to do this.
Okay, what is KickStockUp? It is actually a solution in the tip of your finger, through your phones, through your laptop. We are actually connecting two communities. The first community is the tech startup companies, and on the other hand, the crowd investors. So it is a crowd-based VC where we are actually a crowdfunding platform and at the same time a trading platform as well. Because one common problem of the investor is when they invest in a tech startup company, their money is stuck in that company. There is no exit strategy where you can cash in or exit from the investment. So we are actually providing a solution where it is actually a trading platform where you can buy and at the same time sell your shares or your equity with those startup companies during the incubation period before the official IPO. So how it works? So we are actually providing an initial algorithm-based kind of valuation to determine how much is the capital required. And at the same time, we will list those tech startup companies in our platform, in the app, and incubate them. So we will be providing additional services, like for example, providing working stations in partnership with WeWork or Regius in different parts of the world. We can actually help them in growing the business. And at the same time, we will provide mentoring to the founders and training to the startup companies. From the perspective of the crowd investors, we will do, of course, KYC procedures where they can buy, sell shares online, and also we will provide certain financial literacy sessions online through the platform as well. So this is an overview of how it works within the application or the platform.
Okay, where will our KickStockUp amazing program be launched? San Francisco, New York, Boston, London, Shanghai, and Dubai. Why these 6 cities? Do we love Hult so much that we just copy the footprint of Hult? That's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is these 6 cities are either leading fintech hubs or emerging fintech hubs. Just the number says everything here. Furthermore, the market size of the 4 countries where these 6 cities are something irresistible, just like chocolate cakes. The working age population in these 4 countries is 1.17 billion in total, 15% of the world population. Money is there. And sorry, six fintech hubs, 4 nations, 1.17 billion cashed out. Is it too ideal? Maybe the people who don't live in those fintech hubs, they're not as techie savvy. According to EY, we are actually being practical. In the 2019 consumer fintech indexes in China, US, UK, the numbers are 87%, 71, and 42 respectively. How about UAE? 74% UAE residents are open to innovation in fintech. So start with our six fintech hubs, 4 nations, 1.17 billion cashed out. That's how lucrative the business you are investing.
Okay, so when you're looking at a global scale, our problem or our biggest challenge would be to build trust very quickly and be professional for our investors as well as the new companies, new startups. We need to ensure these 6 pain points are met. One would be the visibility, viability of a product. Ensure that due diligence is carried out so that we filter out the scammers. We need to ensure that only non-confidential information on startup is available on our platforms. Ensure that insider trading. Now you'd think that this is not a listed company. What's insider trading? It could be a fact that the seller is an employee of the company and has much more information. So we need to ensure that the information equity is maintained between the buyers and the sellers. And valuation, a couple of my team members have already touched on that. How do we make sure that it's accurate? We ensure that this is done by actually getting 3 independent professionals to value the firm and taking an average out. And lastly, when you're having investors from all over the world, you want to ensure that these investors are legit people. So we conduct KYC on those. I'll pass it on to Sun to talk about financials.
So, number again, which everyone loves. So we are raising $3 million US dollar, but it will be requested as when the project matures. And this $3 million is it covers costs from year 0 to year 3, and it includes salary, app development, app updating, promotions, office, and etc. And you can see from the profit and loss simulation, can you spot something is wrong here, which is ROI, which you can calculate? This is wrong. So actually our ROI on the 5th year, we're gonna be 799%, which is almost 8x. So yeah, this is our financial trajectory.
So KickStockUp provides retail investors with a high-risk, high-yield alternative asset class that until now was only accessible to investors in private funds such as venture capital, private equity and family offices, all of which have very high barriers to entry. Consequently, retail investors settle for average market returns from funds, equities and indexes for their capital growth. Hence, KickStockUp's service has a high social impact allowing retail investors access to further diversify their investments over a greater number of asset classes and enter into some exciting new rising stars. The startup companies
10 minutes. Okay, questions.
Yeah.
What's the difference between KickStockUp and Kickstarter?
Kickstarter is based on, from my understanding, is based on donations. It's not actually an equity-based kind of investment. And then in addition to this, to them, we are actually providing a trading platform where you can buy and sell the equity shares that you own within the listed tech startup companies in the platform.
Well, just to finish that question, another difference between Kickstarter and this product is that Kickstarter, when you donate or give money, what you get is a product. It's like the backpack that you want to buy or that the company wants to create. In our case, you're getting like shared money.
Yes.
You fixed or variable trading costs. How are people going to make money on this if they're trading or investing $100 at a time? Like, what kind of return do they have to get before they can make any profit based on your trading costs?
So our trading cost, I think, was 0.05%, so it's very low.
And it's fixed across the board?
We fix it,
Okay.
so you trade per share.
Okay.
So if you have whatever, the actual value of you can put your share up for sale at any price you want. Whether someone buys it at that price is entirely driven by the market, right? You know, so
Got it.
so the company might be valued at $10 a share,
Mhm.
but someone might put the share up for sale for $500, but no one is going to buy it,
Right.
Because it's overvalued.
Yeah.
But if someone is desperate to sell their equity, they'll put it up for sale for $5. Someone's going to take it very quickly.
Cool. And because people trading obviously aren't knowledgeable traders, will there be tools within the platform that valuing companies for people on behalf of them?
So I think
Or that?
we personally, you know, people would trust that we've valued it accurately. So we would give some kind of guarantees that we valued it,
Yeah.
and then the future value is obviously reassessed at certain periods of time.
Cool.
I have a question. This is equity, right? It's not
Equity-based investment.
Who is going to do the due diligence process?
Which one?
The due diligence process to evaluate the companies.
Okay.
So who's going to be in charge of
We
that?
will
And if it's that going to be public?
So we will engage actually investment bankers and professionals, independent evaluators, to assess how much is the value and the market capitalization of the company. So KickStockUp will facilitate that valuations as well.
But that is going to be public?
Yes,
Yes.
everything's transparent.
And actually, well, the concept is going to be something lighter, because I know that you're thinking, for instance, in the stocks like NYSE or I don't know. This is more like giving money from Sergio to you and getting the money back. But this is more about trust. It's not like very
No.
big.
What I am thinking is the due diligence process is the hard part when you are in a VC.
Yeah, it's what they responded. Yeah.
That's why the people is trusting on VCs to give them money, because they have this due diligence process. So if you do not solve the problem of the due diligence correctly, no one is going to invest in your startup.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're gonna get help and support.
So we will get experts and investment bankers to do the valuation for us.
Okay. I really like the idea. So basically, you're giving access to startups for investors to, diversify and have like VC access. But I have a question around the idea, because actually funding is so broadly available at the moment. How, and you talked a lot about, how it works for the people, investing in here. But how is it for the receiving end? So how is it for the startups that are actually, linked to you getting the funding? How do you make sure it's like convenient for them? And I'm not sure if I'm filling in the question too much here.
When they submit their application to be listed, they've obviously told us how much they need for their idea.
Yeah.
We won't give them 100% of the funds immediately. There will be certain milestones, so they have to achieve certain things in a period of time to actually receive their capital.
Okay.
In
And how does
addition
that
to that,
compare
apart-
their others, like how attractive are you compared to other sources of funding
Yeah.
for them?
Yeah, you're right when you say there are a lot of funding in the market.
Uh-huh.
But the VCs right now, from my experience in Dubai, they are very selective on to whom they will invest.
Okay.
And a lot of startup companies are failing because they are not able to reach those VCs. So what we are actually providing is, we are a crowd-based VC.
Okay.
So we are helping the tech startup companies as well as the individual investors who may not have access to the real stock market.
Okay, thanks.
So maybe this wasn't clear to me, but I have two questions. So the first one is, there's plenty of crowdfunding equity platforms, right? So what is it, that really differentiates you from them? That's the first one. And the second one is, if you could walk me through your ROI model and explain to me how it goes from -100 and then flatlines and then jumps up to 800, and then how do you project it to, does it grow, does it fall, does it stagnate?
So the first one,
Yeah.
our value proposition, our
defunder.
differentiator, is that we allow the equities to be bought and sold. So that's the main difference. Obviously, if you buy, if you have something on Indiegogo or something like that, once you've bought, right? There's no way to get your money back. But for us, you can sell.
So that's the exit strategy we're giving to the investors. So that's the main key additional points of this platform.
Okay, I think there's a few that do something similar, but might just require a bit more market research as well. Like there is WeFunder and a lot of equity crowdfunding platforms, so I think they do.
That's the thing, that there are equity, the crowdfunding, like Crunchbase is, right, the biggest platform.
Okay.
But then, these are geocentric, most of these platforms, so they're not global. It wouldn't allow you to invest in Africa, or an African investor wouldn't approach this fund or this platform to say, can I list more, can I have my and raise finance? Because if you're based in US and you're looking at an African business, it may seem lucrative, but would you trust your money? Would you put your buck on the on that business? And that's what this platform would allow people. You build trust because you're going to go through the due diligence on identifying both the customers as well as the businesses, but also making sure that the valuations are right. Someone is not going crazy, saying oh yeah, my business idea is worth 20 billion when it might be worth 20 million. So you're just making sure that it's at the right level.
So I agree that if you manage to build that trust,
Yeah.
and then you have a global outreach, that would set you apart from
Yeah.
most of the other platforms.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
The question on the ROI.
Or-
yeah,
ROI.
and before ROI, actually WeFunder, you cannot sell and buy.
Yeah,
We
that
do
was just
that,
an example
yes.
of an equity platform. Yeah.
And about the ROI, so applications, it's not a stock market, so it's not a stock business. So it's when you build it, you can earn money very easily.
Okay.
So it won't be decreasing on ROI. It will be just going up and up.
Okay, but it shoots up in the fifth year as it's like when 200
It doesn't shoot up in the fifth year. Actually, I told you this is wrong. Yeah, this calculation is wrong.
Sorry. I want to make a very strong comment. Questions from investors, please don't enter into the discussion, just ask questions, and these guys need to answer. But you know your thing, and you're going to decide if to invest or not, but don't enter into the discussion, okay?
In addition to what he said, revenue streams that we have here from the investor's perspective, first thing is the commission that we get from the buy and sell. For every buy, we get a commission. For every sell, we get a commission. And also for the services that we provide, for example, providing a working station in partnership with WeWork, for example, we have a markup on that. Second is the mentoring, the trainings that we provide to the founders, we get a fee or a revenue out of that. So the estimated ROI is coming from those three revenue streams.
And lastly, don't forget that.
Last question from the audience.
Sergio wanted to ask.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but when you're doing trading on this platform, do you have to go through any of the regulations?
Yes, there is. In appendix, if we have time, we have actually included here what are the regulatory requirements, but with limited time, but we have considered that already.
Okay. Very good. Thank you very much.